you want to try out the hostel life because you've never done it before, or just in general want some pro tips from someone who has lived in hostels quite a while, well, then you clicked on the right video, because my name is Jasmine and I lived in hostels for 2 months straight in Australia. So here are my tips and tricks to the perfect hostel life. Okay guys, so before we start with this video, I think I'm gonna explain to you guys a bit about my hostel background or my hostel story, what hostels I've stayed at before, and yeah, my experience living in a hostel for 2 months. So yeah, first of all, I think I've started using hostels in 2014. And I've, until last year, only stayed at hostels in Europe. So I've stayed at hostels in Stuttgart, in Cologne, in Berlin, Barcelona, and also Krakow. Personally, I think the European ones are grosser than the ones in Australia. I've only had, I wouldn't say I had bad experiences in Europe, but they were definitely more on the lower side. For example, I stayed at a hostel in Barcelona that was the worst hostel ever. Like, seriously, ever. It was so gross, the showers, oh my god, if I think about that I'm shaking. But yeah, so, and the other ones, they were fine, but they weren't the best ones, you know, when it comes to like being clean and like the general, like how it looks and stuff like that. But yeah, so that was my hostel experience in Europe. When it comes to Australia, I think the standard is definitely higher there. You also have to pay a bit more than in Europe, obviously, but you get a lot for your money in a hostel. I think my favorite chains by far are the YHA hostels and also the Wake Up hostels. I've stayed in hostels in Australia. The first month was on a road trip. I have videos all about that, all about my time in Australia. You will also have a glimpse at the different hostels I've stayed at. And yeah, definitely check out the playlist. I will link it here and also down below. I also have a blog post about that road trip in Australia, which will also tell you a bit about the hostels. I think I have a few that I've mentioned in there, so definitely check those two things out. It will be linked down below. But yeah, back to the hostels. So yeah, I've stayed in hostels 1 month on the road trip. We tried out YHA, Wake Up. I think one of them was Space and another one was Nomads, also different campgrounds. So I know all about those hostels in Australia. We've been traveling through almost the whole country except like Western Australia. So yeah. Yeah, like I've said, YHA and Wake Up are the best ones for me. They are pretty clean, their showers are amazing. I've definitely lost my fear from showering in a community shower. It's definitely not as bad as I thought, because before I had, like I said, I had bad experiences in showers in Europe. After that road trip, I stayed at a Wake Up hostel in Sydney Central. If you don't know, Wake Up hostels, there are only 3 of them of the chain. So there's one in Sydney Central, one in Sydney Bondi, and then there's also one in Byron Bay. I've stayed at the one in Sydney Central and also in Byron Bay. Byron Bay, that one, oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite hostels we stayed at on that road trip. I also have another favorite one, which is the YHA in Brisbane. Both of them are amazing. Just Google it, then you will know. But just an example of the one in Byron Bay, they have bungalow styles rooms, and it's right next to the beach. You can surf, you can rent bikes. It's so amazing. And then for example, we had a 6-bedroom with our own ensuite bathroom, which normally never happens when you live in a hostel, except you pay a bit more. And in that shower we had a whirlpool function, which was a bathtub whirlpool function. It was so amazing. And we also had our own patio with a hammock, so yeah. That hostel, oh my gosh. Yeah, anyways. The one in Sydney Central, I stayed there for 1 month. It was an experience and I've definitely learned a lot. It's definitely trained me for my next hostel trips. So now I'm going to tell you a bit about what I've learned during that time. Yeah, I think I've learned 4 or 5 things while staying at that hostel for 1 month. I think the first thing is that you have to be clear before you go book your hostel what you want. Do you want to have a party hostel? Do you want to party all the freaking time? Or do you still want to party but also have like more of a quiet time, you know, relax? Yeah, that's something you have to keep in mind when booking, because I kind of made the mistake to book a party hostel. The Wake Up Central has a bar and also a cafe, so there's always party there. And it's kind of annoying when every day at like 5 or 6 p.m. the promoter from that bar down there knocking on your door asking, what are you doing tonight? And you're like, Netflix and sleep. I know I'm boring, but to be honest, I was staying at that hostel for 1 month and I was actually planning to live in Australia. So, and I'm also 25. So I'm kind of over my party phase. I had a party phase in the beginning of my 20s and that was fun and I loved it, and I still like to do party, but not as much as I used to. And yeah, also I didn't want to spend money all the time. I mean, I spent a lot of money on food, and yeah, so I don't know, it was just kind of annoying after a while. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind if you want to party, which is totally fine. I mean, if you're, I don't know, 19, 18, you probably want to party. Even if you're 25 and you want to party, that's fine. But I think for me, I was staying at that hostel for a longer period of time, so I didn't want to party every day. But yeah, just keep that in mind before booking. And another thing I've learned was that, which is so funny to me afterwards, yeah, so I've learned that you can never store something in the fridge because it might happen that it can get stolen. So yeah, I kind of have to tell you a bit of a story here. So I stored I think 3 packs of milk in the first 1.5 weeks. I bought them and all 3 of them got stolen. I think I bought one, I got to use it for like 2 days or so, and then the next day it was like gone. I couldn't find it in the fridge, someone stole it, which in my opinion is just so stupid. I know that fridge was full of stuff and there were so many people, but there are name tags, so you know that it's not yours. And I mean, who the fuck steals a freaking milk, you know? It's just, I don't really get it. Usually people from the hostel, they bought their food and then cooked it right away, which I think is the smartest thing, but after a while I was like just so annoyed with that. So I yeah, ate out a lot, which also resulted in me losing money because eating out in Australia is super fucking expensive. The third thing I've learned was that you will meet a bunch of new people. So you will never ever be alone. But the thing is that most people only stay at one hostel for one or maybe like one night or maybe like a week maximum. Most of them don't stay there as long as I did. I personally only did it because I wanted to search for an apartment during that time and a job. And so that was the main reason why I choose to stay in a hostel for 1 month straight. If it were up to me, I wouldn't have stayed that long. Not because I didn't like it, but it just can get annoying after a while. But back to the friendships. So in my case, at least, it was like that I couldn't make like longer period of friendships or long-term friendships because yeah, most people were gone the next day, and there were so many interesting people I got to meet from all around the world. That's the only downside if you live in a hostel, that you probably won't have any long-term friendships. And the fourth thing I've learned is that you don't have to be scared from community showers, because like I've told you before, in Europe I have had pretty bad experiences when it comes to community showers in hostels, and I thought that's gonna be the same thing in Australia. Well, I had some pretty rough showers. Most of them were actually at campgrounds, which obviously there won't be any, like, you know, clean showers, or like at least, like, you know, our standard showers. But most of the showers we had were fine. The one at Sydney Wake Up was, I think it was great. Yeah, they were all great. And then also the YHA hostel showers, they were my favorite ones, because you have like a bit of a cabin where the first part is where you can put down your stuff so it doesn't get wet, and then there's a section with the shower which is closed up, which I think is so nice, because at most hostel showers you would probably get your stuff wet, and that sucks. So yeah, that was definitely, I think I kind of got over my fear of community showers while I stayed at that hostel. So yeah. Okay guys, so now to the question, would I do it again? To be honest, of course I would stay in a hostel again. There's something about hostel life that is amazing, and it is a reason why so many people are staying at hostel and love it. But I would say for me, I wouldn't stay that long in a hostel anymore, because 1 month is like a lot. Of course, if you travel around and stay at different hostels, it's something completely different. But if you stay at one hostel straight for 1 month, it's like, it's a lot, especially if you get older. And yeah, so I wouldn't do it again for that longer period of time, but for a shorter period of time I would definitely do it. Okay guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. Also, let me know down below if you are experienced when it comes to hostel, if you have any additional tips or experiences you've made during your hostel time. Yeah, and other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Rendezvous, make some time for me and you, get you over, treat you right.